Man, September 19th cannot come sooner. I am flipping excited for the Sega Genesis Mini. It is nuts. They're teasing us, and I'm typically not a fan of a company wanting to tickle my balls before something's announced and it's available for pre-order. But these guys, they just announced another 10 games for the system, and wow, excited for sure. So before they, even announced any games for this thing, I was kind of hesitant, but after we knew Ass Games wasn't going to be involved, I was like, okay, there's some hope for this thing. But the hope that I had was still of just like, okay, they're going to release this thing and it's just going to include games that we've seen over and over and over again. Every Sega Genesis Classic Collection, Sonic the Hedgehog Ultimate, FU Collection, whatever the hell they're called. Sega's given us access over the years. Every system has had games with collections from Sega Genesis on it. And I thought that's all this is going to be. We're not going to get nothing special. It's still going to be special because it's an official Sega product, but it's not going to be special because it's just going to be the same crap over and over again. Well, wow, they proved me wrong. And that is why I'm excited. Holy crap. We already know everything this is coming with, so we don't need to talk about that. But whizow, that ball tickling is good right now. Damn, Sega. So they've announced 10 more games for a total of 20 that are revealed. So there's still another 20 to announce. And just by looking at this list, wow. I mean, from the stuff they've already announced, like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, I could care less about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to even play that game. But there's so much other stuff that I'm excited for. When we first saw that Castlevania Bloodlines was going to be on this thing, I'm like, dude, I am sold. Here's the thing. I have original hardware. I have the freaking Mega SG. I'm actually going to be recording something with this in a minute. But yeah, I've got access to all these games on original hardware. But I have this weird notion in my mind because right now I have like this Neo Geo station set up where I only play Neo Geo. I have this notion in my mind that I'm going to set up like an HDMI switcher and I'm going to set up a station and have all the classic consoles, all the classic mini consoles lined up. And you could just sit down. Do I want to play the Super Nintendo Classic? Do I want to play the NES Classic, the C64 Mini, the PlayStation Mini? Like, just have them all lined up. I don't know why. Like, it's I don't know. I'm excited for something like that. That's what I'm planning on doing with all my little mini systems, is setting up a station with, 2 controllers, if it's available for each system. Boom, you just go up, click it, start playing. I mean, I don't know. I just want to have a nice little display. So that's why I'm excited for this stuff. Back to the games. What do we got that they've announced? So I'm excited, guys. I can't hide it. I can't hide it. Earthworm Jim. They just announced Earthworm Jim on this. Game Players Ultimate. Boom. Look at that little shiny. But 24 megs of play action. Earthworm Jim. This is a game I played. I played on the Super Nintendo. Never played it on the Sega Genesis. But never finished it either. This is a game I've never beaten in my life. So excited to play this one again. Can't wait. Can't wait. Now, the next one they added, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Thanks, Sega. We didn't think you're just going to leave us hanging with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. But now you got people like my buddy G-Rolla. He wants Sonic 3 up on this bad boy. So you guys got to get Sonic 3 on here, man. That's got to be something special. We got to have all 3 of them. Even if you don't add Sonic and Knuckles compatibility, I think a lot of people would be fine with that. But get Sonic 3 on here. Come on, man. Now, here's the game that got me like, man, I was about to say something that I probably shouldn't say, but yeah, it got me like, and it's kind of weird. Why the hell would I say that? Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. I'm not the biggest Disney fan in the world. I'm not going to lie. I don't really care for Disney that much. Even when I was a youngster, I was like, Little Mermaid, meh, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I was into other kind of animation and stuff like that. Haven't been my whole life. I do have an appreciation for some things, and then kind of a disdain, like dislike for certain other things. Like, come on now. Lion King, White Lion Cubs, Kimba. Yeah, come on now. Come on now. Your first official, original movie. There's a history of weirdness out there, but that's not what we're talking about today. I have always appreciated and loved Disney's 8 and 16-bit games. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse was a dope game. I did not grow up with a Sega Genesis in my house, unfortunately. I was a Nintendo dude, a little Madlittlepixel guy. But I had friends with Sega, played it all the time, got a Sega Genesis later on in life. But, you know, I did have a Sega Game Gear when it came out. I did have a Sega Saturn when it came out. Did have a Dreamcast when it came out. So I wasn't some fanboy who was like, Nintendo only, dude. I had a little bit of everything, but I did miss out on the Sega Genesis, other than having friends who had these systems, you know, the Master System and the Genesis, and going and playing them. And Castle of Illusion was the one where I played on the Game Gear, and I was blown away. But I think the reason I wanted it on the Game Gear was from playing it on the Sega Genesis, most likely. I'm not 100%, but I do remember a friend of mine having like this game and playing it. So I don't remember which timeline came first. Did I play it on the Game Gear first? Did I play it on the Genesis first? I think it was the Genesis first. But I just remember being like, you know, like a fiend. Can I come over and play some of that Sega? Please? Can I play some of that Sega? And getting to play Castle of Illusion was just amazing in 16-bit, but I love that game. Cannot wait to revisit it. And then the next one that they announced, World of Illusion, which this one's not only starring Mickey Mouse, but also Donald Duck. What? So I've never played this, to be honest with you. Never played this, and maybe I should, but I would imagine, is this like the sequel to Castle of Illusion? I got to check it out, because there are some games that were amazing, and then there's some games that were just like meh when it came to Disney. I think at this point in their life of, you know, Disney licensed games, I think they were still being pretty solid, but there was those misses occasionally. There's a lot of hits. DuckTales, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. What was the Quack Shot for the Sega Genesis was an amazing game. I wish that was on here. That would be pretty awesome. But there we go. We're going to have to test that one out. And then one that a lot of people got hardcore for, Contra Hardcore. Hells yes, a lot of people are super excited to see this on here. And I don't blame them. It's a solid-ass game. And I can't wait to play it. Can't wait to play it on my little mini Sega Genesis. It's going to be so cute. But this is one a lot of people were hoping for, and they have announced it, and they are putting it on this thing. Going to be awesome. Going to be really awesome. What is next? Streets of Rage 2. Where are you, little fella? Boom. Streets of Rage 2. A lot of people love Streets of Rage. It's no, like, surprise to see these games. Like, I mean, I'm not, like, sitting here like, oh, my God, yay, Streets of Rage 2. I mean, it's kind of a given. You're going to give us some of these Sega games. It's not that amazing to me, but some people are definitely happy to see the inclusion of Streets of Rage 2, because they didn't announce, no, they hadn't announced any other Streets of Rage yet. But there is that. And then what's next? Where is it? I can't find. Oh, there it is. Thunder Force 3 from Technosoft. Official Sega Genesis seal of quality. Pretty dope little shooter. I think a lot of people, whenever I'm streaming, they're always like, play Thunder Force, play Thunder Force. And I've played it, and yeah, definitely a good game. So surprised to see this on here. Surprised to see all these third-party games, man. That is what is making this thing solid, is getting these third-party games. Gonna be enjoying it. That's mostly, I mean, am I gonna, when I first get this, am I gonna be jumping in Sonic the Hedgehog? Most likely not. I'm gonna be jumping into these third-party games. That's not a knock at Sonic, because Sonic is my boy. Don't worry about that. But playing these third-party games is really where it's gonna be at. And then the next one, is this it? I could barely see that logo. Super Fantasy Zone. So a pretty interesting little shooter. I know I've played the other Fantasy Zone games, but you know, on other systems. But look at that green pumpkin. What the hell? But there you go. You got some Super Fantasy Zone. I'm sure a lot of people are excited for that. But let's move on. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master. 3 ninjas kick back. What? Not just kidding. But Shinobi 3, definitely excited. I love the Shinobi games. Always had a lot of fun with them. Happy to see that included, you know? And then last but not least, where is she? Oh, she's on the bottom. Landstalker. I am not 100% familiar with Landstalker. I know I've heard the name. Is this like a Zelda type game, an action role-playing game? I'm gonna have to look this one up. I know I'm familiar with the name, but I don't remember ever playing this on the Sega Genesis. This could be one of them that I had previously, like years ago, and it just left my memory. For some reason, my memory sucks, man. I could barely remember what happened yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see this on here. I'm going to have to check it out, see what it is. But yes, there's a lot of titles on here that I'm super excited to see. Castle of Illusion, Thunder Force, Earthworm Jim, Contra Hardcore, frickin' Castlevania Bloodlines. Man, worth the price of entry alone for a lot of people. Gunstar Heroes. I mean, we're getting into, you know, Sonic, Altered Beast, Gunstar Heroes, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. You know, we're getting into the territory of shit that we've had over and over and over again, which is fine. Sprinkle a little bit of that in there because that stuff does define the Sega Genesis, but these third-party games are also what defined it. So I am super happy to see that Sega is taking this thing serious. They're not dicking around. They don't got no Mr. Balls on here. They don't have any of that kind of crap on here. They're putting solid titles. I'm not seeing no filler here. I mean, I'm sure some people could argue some stuff, but I am not seeing any filler on this device so far. And we still got more to come. We still got 20 more games to be revealed. So that is going to be awesome. I'm glad they're taking this serious with the M2 doing the emulation. All just the way they've presented this so far is really exciting stuff, in my opinion. I mean, they're killing it. They're killing it. I can't wait for this to come out. Can't wait to see the potential of the hacking scene, because that's all. I mean, most of you guys, like, I don't even care about the games that are on there. I just want to know if I can hack this thing and add Nintendo 64. Like, come on, guys. Let's get excited for what's included first. Justify the purchase for that. And then, you know, because if they can't be hacked or the hack sucks, like, you don't want to be stuck with a device with a bunch of junk on it you don't want to play. So if this isn't hackable, which it'll be hackable, let's be honest. Come on now, everything's hackable. As long as this is you know, I'm excited for these games. Just to keep it simple, I'm excited. If this was never hacked, I would be happy so far with the solid list of games that we got. 20 more games to go, and they've been throwing this stuff at us. Holy crap. Can't wait. September 19th, my boys and girls. I know there's like 2% of you out there of my audience. Hi, how you doing? But can't wait. Let's do this. Appreciate you guys. I will catch y'all next time. Bye. Peace out. Boom.